Hi, and welcome to 647, 6 stories for 7 a.m. because there's a famine of truth in our land. And this is your quick news fix. And the truth starts now. So let's go back to the Louvre. What happened? What did we report to you before? That a bunch of guys broke open a window, walked in with a chainsaw, went to the Napoleonic royal jewelry case, chainsawed the thing open, stole millions and millions of dollars worth of Napoleon's jewels and crown and all this stuff, and they were in and out in 7 minutes. But what we didn't know was there was a total DEI hire in charge. You just can't make this up. So here we go. Louvre director admits security very inadequate during jewelry heist, promises new cameras in the future. It's the fault of the cameras. Yeah. So the security system at the Louvre Museum is very inadequate and didn't capture the break-in at all. They did the whole thing. Not one camera picked it up. And it's all because the lone camera in the area was looking the other way. The museum director, Laurence Descartes, who's a woman presenting as a man in her short guy haircut and no makeup and black business suit. And you know what? Do what you want. Present that way. If you're really a guy, perform, would you? So despite our efforts and our work, we were defeated. We were, said Lawrence, the director of the Louvre Museum, as she addressed the Senate on Wednesday at a special meeting to get answers on last week's extraordinary theft of historic jewels from the National Collection. Explaining the situation with security cameras, Descartes stated she had identified worrying situations of museum security upon taking up her post as director in 2021. This chick's going on 5 years. Man. And she then launched a modernization policy. But it appears the lag time between beginning to address the issue and upgrades actually happening was too great. And work to implement that policy isn't even due to begin until next year and won't be complete until, wait for it, 2033. So, this chick speaks like she just got awakened post-op and coming off the anesthesia. It's like, yeah, I have a 10-year plan, but unfortunately it won't stop any burglaries. So it's an open house here while I get 10 years of my career solved. You can't make this stuff up. This is a DEI hire, and she is a feckless goof. All right, take two. What's happening in real estate world with mortgages? Well, refinancing is up 81% from last year. Okay, so that's 81% from a little Jerome minus minor drop in the mortgage rate. That punk, if he would put a mortgage rate with a 5 in front of it, it wouldn't hurt anything on his side except he wouldn't get invited to as many Chardonnay parties, and the real estate market would light up. But instead, no. Okay, it dropped from 6.42 to 6.37. A bold move by Jerome. This is just awful. You know, Trump, I don't know, he had great pressure on him, and now he's letting this guy go. And the mortgage market could not be more funky. All right. So mortgage apps are down 5% from last week. Okay. That's a big drop in 1 week. Buyers are scarce and owners are concerned. So they're going the refi route. Makes sense. But you know what? Banks are asking for 20% down, so nobody can sell. And the few people who have to buy, the home prices are still way too high. Why is that? Because nobody's coming into the market. Jerome, when you drop the rate, all of a sudden people go, we better act now. We don't know when this is going to happen again. And bang, all of a sudden we're off to the races. So even the VA refinancing is down 12%. What do you think? Vets listening to war drums and shutdowns, and there's no vet saying, yeah, let's take advantage of this program. They're not going to. And even the adjustable rate mortgages, they increased by 16%. But what does that mean? It means that the house prices are too high. So people are scrambling to do anything to try to make the equation work with the bankers. That doesn't bode well. Okay, if they're stretching that far to just get the thing, the rates are going to be going up. They got like a year, maybe 2 years to breathe, and then bang, it all gets pushed up on them. So it's just a really funky market right now. And guess what? None of the news really helps it. Trump can talk all he wants about, 17 trillion in investment in the country. You got to be a super trickle down addict to say, oh, that's going to help me at home. All right, take 3. Dow drops 300 points Wednesday on more trade fears, right? Maybe it's the House Republicans passing another clean CR on Wednesday with Dems defeating it for the 12th time. So how does the market interpret that? It interprets it that the Dems are counting on some major awful event that they can hang on Trump and start to drop his popularity. Okay, if that's an event of their own making or a stock market continuing to dive, whatever it is, they have ways to manipulate these things, but it's not a good bet. And they're betting against our country because basically they hate our country. So here we go. Stocks fell on Wednesday as new developments out of Washington exacerbated concerns among investors about U.S.-China trade relations, disappointing corporate earnings from companies, including Texas Instruments and Netflix, also weighed on the major indexes. Okay, stocks took a leg down Wednesday after Reuters, citing a U.S. official and 3 people briefed by U.S. authorities, there's not a name mentioned in any of that, reported the White House is weighing curbs on exports to China made with U.S. software. The sources said the plan is not the only option being considered and might not proceed. What an awful paragraph. It's just fear, anxiety, Trump's not handling China right. Okay, here's what's tanking everything. Trump was saying we're going to solve this next war with Russia and Ukraine. Vladimir's coming to meet. I'm going to meet him in Budapest, and I'm meeting with Xi and all this. And guess what? All those meetings got called off. Okay, that doesn't reflect positively in the marketplace. All right, it's roiling everything. Maybe Trump wants that. I don't know. I thought he definitely was going to get a meeting with Putin, but the advanced guys can't get anything accomplished. And then you got Big Z as the wild card in the whole thing, who has absolutely no reality except, I want to be rich. All right, take 4. Trump tells India, I will slash your tariffs if you dramatically drop your oil buying with Russia. So do you get it? Trump can't get Putin to the table, so he keeps doing all these things to slowly put the squeeze on him. He's doing the same thing with Xi. He's working a perimeter around him of alternative suppliers for rare earths. So he's got a strategy, and you can't do it fast. You have to meet, negotiate, China's already in the pockets of these people. So you have to say, yeah, I know China said they'll give you this, but guess what we're going to give you? And then it's the art of the deal, but it's back and forth and back and forth. So let's see what this one's about. The U.S. could substantially slash tariffs on Indian exports as the two countries near a trade deal that could see New Delhi cutting oil prices from Russia, India media outlet Mint reported Wednesday. As a part of the trade deal, Washington could slash tariffs on Indian exports to 15 to 16% from the current 50%. That's a big savings. India is also considering raising its import quota for non-genetically modified corn from the U.S., currently at 500,000 tons annually. So if they get dropped from a 50% to a 15%, they're going to order more. So this is good for farmers, and it's good for our oil production, and these guys negotiate hard. So Trump's at it. He's up to the game, and he keeps insisting that we're going to get a deal. He says he's not going to buy much oil from Russia. He wants to see that war end as much as I do. So they all know it's about bringing Vladimir to the table. And Vladimir won't come to the table until his cash flow gets cut, and India and Russia have been providing all the cash flow he needs. So he's been laughing at all this negotiating. All right, take 5. This is a bad one. This is London Mayor Sadiq Religion of Peace Khan and London police face accusations of cover-up over long-rumored grooming gangs in the capital. This is like us with Antifa. Democrats get in the Congress and go, there's no Antifa. You can't point to Antifa. There's no organization. There's no person that's a part of Antifa. This is what Sadiq is. This is a brilliant strategy, isn't it? We all know what the truth is, and these guys want to pretend it doesn't exist, and the media goes along with them. So the narrative of London having miraculously escaped the scourge of child rape grooming gangs may be on the verge of starting to unravel, with accusations of a cover-up being leveled as investigations have uncovered potential examples of abuse operating in the British capital. While the focus of the investigation into England grooming gangs activity, in which mostly Pakistani Muslim men sexually exploited and raped, often young, almost all the time, minors, young white girls from working class neighborhoods, has been centered in northern areas of the country, such as Rochdale, Rotherham, and Telford, where the elites aren't hanging and therefore don't care. There have long been rumors that similar crimes were being committed in London, which, like so many other cities, is home to diverse populations. It's these effing Pakistani guys, right? They get in groups, they get these minor girls, and they offer them alcohol and drugs and a night on the town, and then they get them messed up, and then they gang rape them, and then nobody does anything about it. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has consistently denied, and often quite testily, that such gangs exist in the city. Earlier this year, during a heated interaction with Conservative Assembly member Susan Hall, Khan attempted several times to claim that he did not understand what Hall meant by grooming gangs, before finally saying that they do not operate in London. Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley has also maintained this stance. Of course he did. That's how he got to be Sir. All right. He hasn't seen such groups. Mark hasn't seen or heard about it. That's why he's Sir, head of the police department. However, recent investigations from the Daily Express identified at least 6 cases with the hallmarks of grooming gangs, including a 15-year-old girl who was brought by several men to a London hotel before being plied with drugs and alcohol and ultimately gang raped. Another case identified involving a 17-year-old girl who was given alcohol by multiple men before being gang raped. All right. When presented with the details of the case, the 15-year-old girl, former detective constable with the Greater Manchester Police, turned grooming gang whistleblower Maggie Oliver, said that it was 100% a grooming gang. Of course it is. Meanwhile, after being presented with evidence of potential grooming gangs operating in London, the Met appeared to change its stance away from the initial denials, with Sir Mark Rowley acknowledging last week that the police forces has a steady flow of group-based child sexual exploitation investigations ongoing, and they don't know anything. Okay, and this is with Donald Trump putting the screws to Keir Starmer and saying, get this stuff taken care of, knock it off. Why are you letting all these young girls be gang raped? Your streets are not safe, and nothing, repeat, nothing happens to any of these guys because all of the political leaders are too PC and afraid to be branded as a racist. And these Pakistani religion of peace Muslims know this shit, and they continue to do it that's for the same reason that crime is up dramatically in New York City, because the thugs in New York City know nobody is coming. The police show up to clean up, but they are not going through any nonsense processing because the DAs let these people right back out of jail same day. So there's no incentive for the police to do their job, and they're not. And that's why crime is up. And the same thing is here. All these Muslim guys know that they can do this with impunity, and this jerk, Sadiq Khan, is not going to do a thing. He has their back because he wants the community to back him. So, you know what? This is coming to Texas, and it's coming to New York City under Zoran the Magnificent. Once he's in charge in January, you're going to see this stuff happen fast. You got to fight if you want to keep your country. You can't let this happen, or put a fence around these blue cities and just go, this is a visual aid for patriotic Americans to see that money doesn't fix it. If you have a broken mind, you will vote for everything that destroys our constitutional republic. And speaking of that, take 6. This is the perfect case of that. All right. This is an advanced reprobate mind syndrome. And this is, wow, a truly advanced case. This is the CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra, definitely an advanced case of arms. This chick is nuts. Everyone should short GM now. Okay? Here we go. This is what Mary has on her mind. General Motors is targeting a suite of new software initiatives for its vehicles over the next 3 years, including an in-vehicle artificial intelligence assistant from Google and a driver assistance system that can largely control the vehicle without human interaction or monitoring. Not only can you not handle the truth, you can't drive your own car, you imbeciles. GM said the conversational Google Gemini AI, it's conversational. It sounds friendly. It actually sounds like you won't be lonely in your car, will begin launching in its vehicles next year, followed by the new driver assistance system. It sounds so warm and huggy, which will allow drivers to be hands-free and take their eyes off the road under certain circumstances. Oh, get your lawyer for that. In 2028, GM CEO Mary Lefty Barra and other executives made the announcements Wednesday as part of GM Forward. Guess what? It ain't GM Forward. They just reported 2 weeks ago that they had to take a multi-billion-dollar write-off, okay, a write-down, because they put all their chips on electric vehicles to make all of the Dems happy in Washington, and they lost their butts. Nobody wants that crap. And guess what? There's only one thing every consumer hates more than having electric vehicles shoved down their throat, and that is this dystopian AI's your buddy, your assistant, your friend. We all know it's not the case. It's all these billionaires on the spectrum who have nothing but antagonism because of their social issues, and they want to take over, and they want to make you slaves, and they will do it with AI. And what is their message to you? It's going to be great for you, and it's coming, and there's nothing we can do about it. And we think it's going to be smarter than the entire human race collectively, and nothing bad could happen from that, right? We're just mad scientists who are unhappy and have been unhappy our whole lives. But because we have billions and billions of dollars, we put it in the pockets of those bastards in Congress, and they let us do whatever we want. So it's like the comic books when I was a kid. There's some master lunatic who wants to destroy the planet in every issue. And we got him. And Mary, she's with the pom-poms cheering them on. She is going to flatten this company. That's why I'm saying short it. There's only one thing that typical consumers hate more if they're not leftists than save the planet electric cars. And that is you can't drive your car, right? You can't handle the truth. You can't drive your car, and you can't handle your money. Are you getting the message yet? This is all going to be taken away from you, and it's well advanced. And here's somebody making millions of dollars and grinning like a fool, and she is trashing this company. And there's a board of directors there, and they're all going, go, Mary, go, Mary. She lost billions, and she's gonna, whatever that was, it's going 10x with this move. No sane business person would make these moves without living in a leftist bubble where you're constantly sucking up to lefty politicians, people in power, and she's probably fantasizing about being the first female president of the United States, right? Can't wait. She and AOC can run it together, run it right into the ground, right? It's the JFK Jr. School for Night Flights. Anyway, this isn't a fun news cycle today, but it's the truth, right? The truth isn't always funny. That's why they tell you you can't handle the truth, but you can handle the truth. And you can handle your car. And you know what? You got to go, hey, billionaires, I'm thinking of a finger. Which one is it? At some point, we have to stop taking this crap. Now, put on your God face, right? I need you to like us, to share us, to make meaningful comments, to not get irate. Listen, the bottom line is we know who's in charge of all this. It's just frustrating to see these people in charge drive their cars right into brick walls and then get out and say, you can't handle your car. Your car is going to become your personal assistant. Get the F out of here. Man. Dear Father in heaven, I apologize for losing it a little bit in this 647. And I know that you have a plan, and it's a plan to give us a hope and a future. And I'm asking you, please, bless all these people that had to listen to me in my tirade today. All right? Thank you very much, God. Thank you very much for participating today. And God bless you. We will hopefully see you tomorrow.